the websites and etc. Okay, so let's get back to our notes and let's get started to this very geeky session. So I hope that everyone is like has already opened up this bit.ly slash run cofacts. It will be the documents for today. And if there is like if you find that there is any missing piece that or if you are stuck at any of the steps, then just let me know. Then I will improve the doc because the doc is just created like 4 hours ago. Okay, so first of all, some prerequisites. To run cofacts on your laptop, you'll need Git, and you'll need Node.js for running the database migration code, and you'll need Docker and Docker Compose. So here are the installation instructions. If you happen to not having these installed, then you can just click on these URLs to download Git or Node.js or Docker onto your laptop. Then let's first go through some steps so that have your and make your laptop becoming very busy, and we'll then take a look at our structure as your computer busy downloading things. So let's first go through the first steps. For cofacts, we have to run cofacts, you just need to clone 2 repositories. The first one is rumors deploy, and the second is rumors db. The rumors deploy contains the most essential file here, the Docker Compose.yml. But actually, we have 2 copies of Docker Compose.yml. One is for today's workshop, Docker Compose.sample.yml, and the other is production one because we love to provide the actual running Docker Compose.yml to let you have a feel that hey, you can just modify this Docker Compose.yml to your need. Yeah. So today we'll be focusing on Docker Compose.sample.yml, and to do this, in order to make our process smoother later on, because we will do a lot of Docker Compose up, Docker Compose down, it is recommended that you just copy this Docker Compose.yml to Docker Compose sample.yml to Docker Compose.yml. And we have put this file name into git ignore, so you can just copy it and fiddle it around, and it won't affect it won't make your you won't make your workspace dirty. And the second repository is cofacts rumors db, and this is just for database migrations. And so it contains it mainly contains the index of our index mappings of our Elasticsearch database, and there are some migration scripts. We'll be running that later. So after you have just you have just cloned the repository, and you can start with the Docker Compose part. And the first of all, I found which is very handy is that we can first open another terminal to put the logs on. So you can just have a log like this, a screen, a separate terminal screen dedicated for printing all the logs, and it will be handy. So here are the commands: Docker Compose /f, and start a database. And this is the first part that will get a little bit time, because it takes for about 30 seconds for an Elasticsearch database to boot. So you will just run this command and take a look at the terminal that contains log to see that if the log stops popping. And this is the first milestone, that after you have started this Elasticsearch database, you should be seeing that um, you should be seeing that your database at localhost 6222 port. So maybe I'll just put a milestone here. Success. Yeah. So after this, you will just like need to initialize the database, and so you need to go to the rumors DB repository you have just cloned, and run npm install, and you have to specify which the URL to the Elasticsearch you have just created, which is localhost 6222. So 62222. Okay. So you need to like change the env file. Like actually, we are using env files throughout all cofacts repositories to do configurations, and for the for rumors DB, because it is not in the Docker Compose script, since it is a one-off script. It's not a service. It's just a one-off script. So we will need to configure it separately. For the rest of all the services, you won't need to edit this .env because it will be handled in Docker Compose YML. Yeah, so after you like just edited this, and you can just run docker npm run schema. This will create all this will initialize our database with indexes, which is actually it is like database tables in Elasticsearch, and it will initialize mappings, which is essentially the schema of Elasticsearch database. And after this, you will get a totally blank repository. You will get a totally blank Elasticsearch database. So the next command to run is npm run seed to populate some. I think it was 2 documents here. So after you run npm run seed, you should see some. You will see the result later. Yeah. So after the database is then you can just spin up all these services, and it will take some time because like it will download quite a lot of Docker images from the Docker Cloud. So especially for this URL resolver, because URL resolver has Puppeteer inside. So it will download a copy of headless Chrome inside your laptop, and that will take about 700 megabytes. So you like make sure your computer is busy. That will definitely like take some time. Okay, so since we are at a place, at a step that will take some time, then I'm happy to like take questions here if you are stuck at any of the steps, or if any of the steps is not clear here. Is it okay for everyone to like spin up this database and starting these services? I think it won't be so smooth because I have crashed my computer or encountered a lot of errors last night.
Yeah, I'm running into a problem with firewall rules for the Elasticsearch.
Firewall.
Yes.
Firewall rules. But
I'm thinking my firewall is not accepting
but it's
connections
local.
on the Elasticsearch. No, I'm doing this on the VPS.
Oh, but actually, you should be like you should be able to access your database directly inside your node. inside your VPS, you should be able to curl localhost 0.26 to 3. Then inside localhost, it should be communicating.
Yeah. This one for me. This is what I get when I need
Oh, I see. There's no living connections. So is running request error on this one. So maybe you take a look at if you can curl localhost URL. No, it's not starting. So maybe you just need to after ps. Yeah. Oh, there's no container running, so maybe you need to start from the first one. You will be like this one. Docker compose of DB. Oh, this one is actually it is a. Oh, so just explain. For these command lines, this prefix is actually just a denotion of which repository you should be typing the command after. Yeah, so for these commands, we'll just need to copy the ones that is after the $sign. And you'll need to make sure that you are doing this under this directory or under the working directory of this repository. Yeah, so you don't need to type this. It's just a hint on what on the commands. Maybe I should just like turn this into. I should just like turn this into here. Oh. To a comment, I think. In Docker, in rumors deploy working directory. Yeah, like this. Yeah, so are these, because like we are having two directories here, right? So we'll need some hint like this in directory. And it should be go to this directory. So sorry for it's a constantly improving process of documentation. So are you running into any other problems here? I think if you are running, yeah. So if you are running it on a virtual machine, then you may encounter some memory issue when running when running Elasticsearch, because like in production environments we are actually running this on a 2 GB memory window. Yeah, and for this demo, like I just run on my laptop, so you have sufficient memory. But if you only have 1 GB, then you may hit some barriers, like Elasticsearch won't start with such a low memory. So maybe you need a VM with at least 2 GB. Yeah. So,
that's right.
yeah, and there are some. And if you are running it on VM and you are like very short on memory, you may need to take a look at our production settings, and which is pretty interesting here. So you can take a look at Docker Compose production YML to see what's the actual config in our production server, which has only 2 gigabytes of memory. So in our production server, we only have 2 gigabytes, and actually we are running 2 instances of Elasticsearch on such server because we actually are running a staging server and production server in parallel in one node because like we just want to rent one machine to do 2 things. Yes. Yes.
One of my CBO is family. It says there's a forbidden 12
Forbidding. Sorry.
It's blocked by forbidden. The error message is number 12. And it says there's
Oh, the index is read only. Maybe your disk is running low on storage, right? If your disk on your computer is about like I think it's 80% or 90% full, then the Elasticsearch will automatically lock all the indexes, and it will become read only, and which is quite a nuisance. So maybe I'll just need to mention that because it is a default value of Elasticsearch, and you don't need to. I think you can just Google for the for this message, and you'll find a command, a curl command that clears up all the flags. But you don't need to do the clearing after you free up some space in your laptop. Yeah, because that once you get Elastic start running, then it will just like lock up all the indexes again. Yeah, so it's crazy for Elasticsearch. So yeah. Yeah, so back to our production here. In terms of memory control, we are actually setting this ES_Java_ops environment variable to set a hard limit on Elasticsearch, and these variables are recommended by Elasticsearch on its documentation of Docker installments, production Docker configurations. Yeah, so you'll need to like take a look at these. Maybe you'll need to take a look at these. So as I have mentioned, we are running 2 instances of Elasticsearch here. So you can see that here's DB and here's DB staging. They are both running Elasticsearch on different ports. Okay. Oh, actually, they are on the same port. Oh, really? I forgot. Oh, there is no such setting. So they are running on the same port, but we can always map the port to different ports on our local host. So that's right. So that's the case. So if you are short on memory, you need to like playing with these properties, or maybe have an extra property if you are really short on memory. Like you can fix it with only 500 megabytes of memory, and then you need another flag to do such a thing. I've tried some. It's a process of try and error because actually I'm a front end engineer, so it was a hard time for me to play around these Docker Compose configurations. Okay, so I think we have only 15 minutes left, so maybe I'll just go on with, I'll just have a quick overview of this whole system. Yeah. So for the entire cofacts, actually we have several repositories that you can see at our GitHub. There are several repositories, including those are we haven't cloned, like Rumors API, Rumors line bot, Rumors site, and actually there is a Rumors FB bot, but it's not it is actually still not running yet. Yeah, but we do have some efforts in it. So what are the relationships between these repositories? So we have put up a simple, very simple diagram for this right here. So Rumors DB is, as I mentioned before, is just a bunch of database mappings and database migration scripts. But actually, we use this to represent this Elasticsearch database here in this diagram. And the Rumors API, which is actually you have not cloned it, right? Because we have already included it in our Docker Compose. In the Docker Compose YML, you are currently manipulating that. We have already prepared a Docker image for this. And for this, it will start an API server, and it is communicating with its client, which are Rumors site. It is our editor site, and Rumors linebot, which is a linebot. So actually, the website and the linebot, and potentially there will be more bot servers. They are actually clients to the Rumors API. And the Rumors API is the only way that these clients can access Rumors DB. So it's just a separation of concerns here. So Rumors site are all clients, and this API is a gateway or just API for this database, or for our Rumors database. And as you know that so this Rumors DB, they have a lot of fields in it, like you will have an index to store the instant messages, which is articles. The index name is articles inside the Rumors DB. And also the replies. We have these two big two big indexes in Rumors DB. And the Rumors API here, it will, if you successfully get the Rumors API running, I think in this step you should be having this should run on localhost 5,000. Yeah. After this command, you should be able to access to this API server here. And it's a GraphQL server, so it comes with a handy GraphQL interface. You can just ask some of the queries here, like you can get articles, you can list articles to list all the current available documents here, like if you and you can get article with an ID, and you can like get some you can get the text this article is about, which is some weird text. Yeah, it's actually used in our unit tests, and we don't have I don't have time to like change the text. So it is a test. It is one test document in our unit test to test the URL scraping functionality. Yeah, so here is the API server. The API server has some interfaces for the clients, like chatbots and websites, to get article, get user, list all article of these users. Only 5 query here, and there are more here, like mutations. So you have this API allows you to create article, to reply, create reply, to create article reply, stuff like that. Article reply is actually articles and replies have end-to-end mapping, so has and belong to many mappings. So this is how you can just like connect articles with replies via this API. So it has everything you need to build a website for editors, and every interface you need to build the chatbots. Yeah. And if you are not familiar with GraphQL is a way that clients and server can. It is a way to do RPC, and it is developed by Facebook. So you can just learn more about GraphQL in GraphQL's um, learning session. Yeah. So behind the hood, currently this GraphQL server runs on HTTP, so you can still grab the request panel and see what's actually sending between this playground and the server. And actually, in the client's code base, including the website and linebot, we already have some utility functions to invoke. To call the APIs of the GraphQL server. So you don't need to like worry about what's client to be chosen. Right. So. And after this site, you should be able to access localhost 3000, and which is the website I have just shown you before. And if you like click this red button here, then you can go into the articles list here, and you need to click this checkbox here to reveal the other articles here, because and you need to click this all here to show all the articles, because there are some filters here. And if you have configured your database and the seed data correctly, there should be some articles that can be read through the API from the database. And this article is just one of the articles that I have just sent via our chatbot. Yeah. So here is another milestone here to fire up the API server and the website. Yeah. So maybe I'll just pause here for a bit to get more questions. I'll just go to that. Okay. Maybe I'll just have a little bit introduction to this URL resolver here. This URL resolver is actually another GraphQL server running on localhost 4000. And it is pretty interesting. So this is actually a standalone microservice. So if you are not interested in cofacts, but this might help you if you want to build a scrapper or something. Like it will have it provides an API called resolve URLs. Yeah, so you can just like do stuff like this, and can you read this? I think it's a bit dark. Maybe it will work. Okay, here. So that this is a GraphQL server that allows you to put any URL that you want to scrap, then it will respond. But it will not only actually it won't respond with it will respond with HTML. It actually does grab the HTML, but it does something more. It does like JavaScript redirects. It understands that JavaScript. It understands all the redirect metrics, and because after the hood, under the hood, it is actually using Puppeteer, which is a headless browser to resolve your URL. So it runs the JavaScript. It And it uses Mozilla's readability.js to extract the content to like this one. Readability.js is a JavaScript library developed by Mozilla to like extract content, relevant content from a raw HTML piece. So we are using this readability to this. So that you even if this website actually is pretty complex, it has a lot of navigation, it has a lot of ads, but after this readability, it will extract some useful content for us to index in our database. So even if you are not interested in cofacts, maybe this microservice is helpful to you if you are trying to build a versatile crawler of web. Yeah. Yes. So I think we have a few minutes left here, and for last minutes, I think I will go through the last settings here. Actually, to get this website running, you may need to update your etc hosts. The reason is like here because in our Docker Compose here, the APIs, all the configurations are here, and the APIs and the website is talking to each other via this public API URL. So, but actually, this site here is a isomorphic JavaScript Node.js server that runs both server side and on your browser. So the settings here, HTTP API 5000 is both shared for the server inside Docker and for the browsers. And that will be a problem because that inside Docker, it will only recognize these host names set by Docker Compose. But outside of Docker, the browser don't understand what this API means, this hostname means. So that's why we'll need to, in order to like get this localhost 3000 article page running, in order to get this page running, you may need to update your etc host to teach your computer about API, this hostname. And for the last, I think we have 2 minutes left. Then I'll just like go through the hardest part, the last part here. The last part is to get the chatbot server running. Why is this the most difficult part? Because it doesn't involve a lot of tech. It involves a lot of clicking on the line documentation side, and I think that will be the most difficult part. Because like you don't have control, you need to follow all the lines tutorials. So here is a link to the guide that will guide you through like register line and register as a line developer and create a channel and go to their developer console to get these 2 line channel secrets. It will be in a text box, and the line channel token will be in another text box. You will need to copy that over to your Docker Compose. Like it's at the bottom, the line bot section. You have line channel secret and line channel token, and this is the 2 fields that you will need to fill in order to get your line server running. And after the line server is running, you will need to provide a URL in the line developer console, because the line server will need to know which URL they should send users messages to. So you will need another like reverse proxy, like line bot. inside our rumor Timebot repository, there's a missing piece here. You need to use something like ngrok, which is handy to proxy all the network requests to your laptop. Actually, you will build a reverse SSH tunnel between ngrok and your laptop. And so you will need to fire up this one and fill the URL to feed the URL to the line developer console, then get through the final step. So then you will get a chatbot that will send requests to your server on your laptop, and yeah, you can just finish the whole setup. Yeah. So I think I have run out of time here. Yeah, it's 11 o'clock already, and there are still. Actually, I have omitted a lot of things. In order to, in our editor's website, we can allow users to register with Facebook and register with Twitter. All these will need you will need to create a Facebook app for Facebook login and create a Twitter app for Twitter login. All these are omitted in this because for the sake of liberty. But just a quick note that you will need to fill these in order to be able to allow users to register using Facebook, Facebook app ID, Facebook secrets, consumer key, consumer secrets, stuff like that. Yeah, so I think this is the introduction of how to run cofacts on your laptop, and hopefully everyone can just change this Docker Compose to your need, so that you can run cofacts anywhere anywhere you want. So thank you, and I'm happy to take questions after this session. Yeah, so thank you very much.
那访纲就是考虑的光就大家 post down 刚刚说东西不用照顺序。
对，你就直接当